Thomas Alva Edison was born on February 11, 1847 in Milan, Ohio, and was the youngest of seven children. He was an American inventor who acquired 1,093 patents throughout his lifetime. He, the phonograph being the most famous of his inventions, was also known as a voice recorder. And he was an honorable man who influenced the lives of the people that were around him throughout his childhood, his adulthood, and even long after his death. And since childhood, he was destined to be successful, and that's because growing up, he didn't attend public school. Rather, he was taught by his mom and was also self-taught and taught himself as much things as possible. And by the age of 12, he was working selling newspapers and snacks at the train station, and this allowed him also to read spare books on his time off, and this is another way he gained some knowledge. And he traveled the country as a telegrapher at the young age of 15 and did this for around 6 years until he decided that he really wanted to become an inventor. And in 1869, he obtained his first patent, although it wasn't a success. It was a electric volt recorder, and it was a basic failure. It didn't succeed commercially, and people didn't see the need for it. And he was determined to make things work, however, and decided he was gonna try to work and invent things that the public actually wanted. He created the improved stock ticker 2 years later, which was a mass success. And with this success that he gained, he set up a small laboratory in New Jersey, and it was also his manufacturing facility. And at his prime, he affected many with his ingenious inventions. Only 29 years old, he moved to Monroe Park in New Jersey, and he built a bigger laboratory that he would conduct more research and also be able to manufacture. While working on the telephone and the telegraph, he actually made a new invention himself, which was his famous phonograph. And this was something that would allow you to record voice and play it back to for you to hear it again. And in 1878, he got the patent and started manufacturing the phonograph due to its large popularity that it gained at a short amount of time. He was also the first to commercially build the light bulb that was actually practical in everyday use. These light bulbs that he built were incandescent bulbs that actually burned longer than other bulbs that people had tried inventing before. And he used bamboo filament, and this was able to burn for 1,200 hours. And he used this for around 10 years. And he also was able to create the electric industry in 1882, and the commercial power station went into operation. And this was mostly in the beginning in Pearl Street in Lower Manhattan, which was directed to a one square mile radius, and it provided light and power. And there was basically no stop to Edison, which he worked up until his 80s, and it wasn't until his last 2 years of life at 82 that his health began to decline, and he suffered a number of illnesses, which one day ended up making him collapse on August 19. Um, One day on August 1931, he stayed home until his passing on October 18, 1931. Long after his passing, we still see how influential and important he was to our lives, and his technologies and ideas are implemented in today's inventions that people are creating. The phonograph technology in our phones, for example, is one of the examples that the his ideas are implemented today, such as the applications to record the voice. And ideas of light bulbs inspire people to create better bulbs that are more efficient and even are even sustained for longer period of time. And people will always remember the name of Thomas Alva Edison and the history that he leaves behind. His successes greatly impacted the lives of the people around him at his early life, at the prime of his achievements, and long after his passing, due to the fact that he was an honest and hardworking man. And in life, we need more people like him to move forward and um, better society, because inventors are the ones that make us succeed and make us um, benefit more due to our technology.